We all know that Psalm 23 was composed by David. And as you read Psalm 23, you need to check it out from a perspective of a shepherd. So when David spoke about the green pastures, he was referring to the green grass that grows in the desert shortly after the rain. It is something that you never take for granted. To find food for the sheep and the goats in the desert, it's always a great thing. You understand that God is the provider. He's talking about the still waters, and what it means is, in the desert area, we have very powerful flash floods coming from the higher mountains. The flash floods won't last long, but obviously a sheep or a goat cannot drink from such powerful current. But when it's over, water will stay still in holes and in the valleys, and these are the still waters. And the shepherds know, and David knew where to look for it. It says, "You anointed my head with oil." A good shepherd, he protects his flock, he protects his sheep and goats. So he takes oil and he will rub it on the forehead of the sheep and the goats, around the nose, to keep away flies and bugs, that they won't go in and lay down their eggs, because it might kill it. So God protects him as he protects his flock. Rod and staff. Staff, it's to lean on. It's something like a walking stick that the shepherds always use. And the rod, so he will use it as a punishment, or he will hit it with them. So it's actually symbolizing the grace of God and also the wrath of God. My cup runneth over. The cup, it's the water trough that normally you'll find nearby a well. So whenever the shepherd draws the water out of the well, he will fill in the cup. It's a water trough, and only then the sheep and the goats will drink from it. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadows of death, I fear no evil. There was such a valley along the old road, the old Jericho road connecting Jericho with Jerusalem. There is a very deep valley, and along the valley there are fresh water springs. It was always a place for the wild animals to gather, bears and lions. Along the valley there are lots of natural caves, always a place where criminals, murderers used to hide. So it was always a very dangerous zone. And God protected him in the desert. So in other words, to be a shepherd in such an environment, it was a great responsibility. And David is not taking it for granted. He understands that God is the provider, that he provides him water, he provides him food and a shelter, protection in such an environment. So to be there, it's always a great responsibility for a shepherd to be alone with sheep and goats. But he understood that God is with him and God is behind him, and that's why he had such a great faith in the Lord.